This is reading and writing skills.
Written text based on its properties, focusing on text organization and arrangement of details. This module will help you to achieve the following. Before moving on to our next topic, let's have a little recap. Turn these general subjects into specific topics. We have ecology under science, World War I under history, data storage under technology, ethics under philosophy, and of course, grammar under language. Can you still remember how to narrow down topics? If yes, you are doing a great job! Moving on, do you know what this picture is? How about this one? The third picture. And who is this one? Of course, the first picture is an oar, the second is a gun, third, easy, and that is Sean. Pronounce the words together, and we will be having the word organization. Organization in writing means that the writer must consciously arrange and classify ideas in order to achieve logical order and clarity in writing. Organization entails three main ideas. First is text organization. Text organization deals with how a text is organized to help readers follow and understand the flow of information and ideas cascaded. This can be achieved through the following techniques: physical format, signal words, and structure. Physical format is how the text physically appears. The format is an aspect of the organization that is immediately apparent to the reader. It is seen in how the text physically appears, like headings and subheadings, bullet points, or font emphasis. For example, without reading this full text, we can already identify the main topic, and that is Marxist theology, with its three main theories, and those are historical materialism, social class, and socialism.
Here is another example. Next are signal words. Signal words are textual cues that readers can use to follow a text. They can signal the transition from one point to another, the ordering of events and concepts, or the writer's chosen text type. For example, linear narration and question and answer. And this is a specific example. By using sequential signal words, first, second, and third, before the beginning of every sentence, the reader can follow what seems to be the writer's list of three reasons why the novel influenced him. We also have a structure. This is the complete framework of the text. The structure provides the framework upon which the text is organized, and it consists of the following: the beginning or introduction, the middle or the body, and the ending or the conclusion. For example, organization in this paragraph is not readily noticeable as it does not use cues like formatting or signal words. However, the text is organized in this way: the beginning, the middle, and the ending. Second is proper language use. Proper language use allows you to capture the message that you wanted to convey to your readers. It is all about choosing the right words that accurately capture your ideas. However, writers sometimes encounter problems, like misuse of words. We have to be certain of the definition of a word before using it. A writer might sometimes use a word incorrectly, and this occurs when the word does not mean what he or she thinks it does. For example, There are many behaviors that past societies considered legal but are now deemed immoral, including slavery, sexism, and racism. The writer confused the word immoral with immoral. The former means neither moral nor immoral without moral quality, while the latter means not moral. Sometimes it is easy to guess the correct meaning of a word just by looking at how it is spelled. The prefix "a" signals that something is without such. Next are words with unwanted connotations. There are words that take on a meaning specific to a context. For example, the Coast Guard salvaged Priscilla and her sister after their fishing boat was damaged in a storm. Word salvage means to save, usually from the wreckage of a marine vessel. However, the Philippine media and police often use the term to mean a violent killing, which is opposite from its traditional English meaning. It comes from the Spanish word salvaje that has a meaning similar to savage. Next are technical or highfalutin words. Some writers want to sound smart by using words that are very technical or have deep meanings. Though some writing genres require the use of such words, writers should still be careful about using them since they make readers work harder to understand texts. For example, there is an ongoing discourse about the anti-disestablishment assemblage and the administrative political body. This text is complicated because it is filled with words that are difficult to understand. If the terms are important to use, then the writer could define what they mean. Here are additional tips for you. First, use clear and concise sentences. Second, avoid redundancies, wordiness, cliches, and highfalutin language. Avoid excessive use of there and it structures. And use precise vocabulary. In addition, be consistent with your pronouns point of view. Avoid sexist language like himself or herself. Use appropriate level of formality, and you should also be sensitive enough to use unbiased language. We also have our mechanics. Mechanics are conventions that have to be considered in writing. It is important to know and observe these conventions in writing to avoid confusion. For example, in spelling. When you write, always make sure that you are consistently using one standard. And in the Philippines, we are using American spelling. Take note of these examples. Next is punctuation. Punctuation is the act of using a system of symbols such as the comma, period, quotation marks, question marks, and others that are used to give structure to an organized text. How about capitalization? So here are the rules in capitalization that one has to remember. Below are the few examples of words that require capitalization: proper nouns, proper adjectives, days of the week, and months of the year. Also, take note of the following mechanics. Always use standard English. Second, avoid contractions like turning should not into shouldn't. Third, avoid exclamation marks unless they are part of direct quotations. Fourth, mention the full name of the institution or organization with the abbreviation in parentheses in first mention. Fifth, numbers from 0 to 10 should be spelled out while numbers higher than 10 should be written in figures. Lastly, citations are used in academic and formal texts. Third, coherence and cohesion. Cohesion refers to the logical flow and connection in written text and is achieved through the use of devices to link sentences together so that there is a logical flow between ideas from one sentence to the next. While coherence refers to the unity or togetherness of the text as the whole, and it is achieved through the effective grouping and arrangement of ideas in a logical order. In simply put, when we say cohesion, it is more about the grammatical order of your text, while coherence is the togetherness of your ideas. This too make your text easier for your readers to follow and understand what you are saying. Therefore, this too must always be present in your texts. Because a text with cohesion has a central concept or glue that holds all the different ideas together. Although without coherence, there is no apparent logic to the way these ideas are presented. In this example, every sentence is related to the next sentence in some way. The paragraph stays on the topic of art, which is the glue that holds the text together and allows it to exhibit cohesion. However, the way it was developed does not make sense. How about a text with coherence without cohesion? A text with coherence has ideas that are logically sequenced in a way that is easy to follow for the reader. Although, without cohesion, no central concept links all these ideas together. The main point of the text remains unclear for the readers. This is a good example of a text with coherence without cohesion. At the bottom part, we also have to remember this arrangement of details according to chronological order, spatial order, and emphatic order. Chronological order. The details are organized in the order which they happen. This is an example. The details in this text tells us what happens first up to the last or the ending. Spatial order. The sentences of a paragraph are organized according to the geographical location, such as left to right, up to down, and others. This type of order is used in order for our reader to imagine the physical positioning of things we wanted to say. Lastly, the most important of all is to arouse the emotions of your reader to be more effective writer. And this is the emphatic order. The information in the paragraph is organized to emphasize certain points depending on the writer's purpose. Oops! Don't forget about the trivia of the day.